10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Attempt number 3 at IdiOtBlog 393. I am your host, Idiot Burns, and we are listening to John Daigle. You can find him at username STONEKOLDX, Stone Cold X. Today we are once again simulcasting on YouTube at Idiot Burns, BandLab at IdiOtBlog, and Facebook.com/Christopher Burns. This track is called Center of Gravity. I'm gonna have to go ahead and privatize that previous blog. Saving it private. And I'll go ahead and pop on into the control room on the YouTube screen and double check that the flow is working. It looks like we're getting a little bit better flow for the feed here. I've changed some settings. Hopefully I've resolved the issues with the feed. We'll see if we have or not. I keep getting this notification there's a page slowing down my feed, my browser. Do you want to close it? And I don't want to close it because I don't know which one will close. I'll have to do a test on that next week. Joey Esther, you're back. Nice to have you back. Hopefully everything is streaming just right today. We can get that momentum back. It does look like it's working a little bit better. I'm trying to work out some kinks here on the process, not really of doing the blog, but of how it's cast. I may have to reduce how many different places it casts to. I don't know if that's the cause of the issue or if it's the settings in open broadcasting. Open broadcasting at OBS, you know, I think it's open broadcasting something or other. This got some cool harmonies, cool vocals, rolling lows, singing in that low range, singing in the middle to upper range here. Today I spent some time playing with, that's all good if you hadn't been able to join because of Christmas. But I spent the last spent a big chunk of today playing the drums. Oh, excuse me. Oh man, this hat. This hat has a plastic bump cap in it, so it's kind of like almost like a hard hat. Every once in a while, something gets itchy in there, and I reach in and it sounds like popping sounds, and I forget that forget what's going on. But today I was working on playing drums, and I even was trying to get the virtual instruments in Cakewalk to work with my drum kit, USB out right into the system, and I was having some issues where it was like catching up the sound drivers and crashing the sound drivers once I'd hit a note on the kit. Excuse me. Once I'd hit a note on the kit. That was a heartburn. Good thing I got something to wash it down right here. That was nasty. But yeah, I've been trying to get that to work for like a year, and I can't get it to work right. And when I do, I'll be able to make an excellent video about it. So that'll be cool. I think this is the same song. I wonder how many times we'll have the same song. Cakewalk installs fine, and I've been able to like program drums in it, and I've been able to use this guy. Jesus, everything wants to fall down. Superior Drummer. I've been able to use it just fine. But I've also had some funk. There's my letter from Trump. I've also had some funky issues. Oh man. Some funky issues trying to get it to work seamlessly. I just don't have any RAM in my computers. So something I'll probably look into doing is building something that can handle modern day recording devices. Maybe sometime this year. Just so that I can do the blog without so much frustration. I have virtual instruments for my drum kit so that I can play, you know, an electronic drum kit, and then it have the sounds of a real drum set. And I could change after I play it, I could change the snare to a different snare, or the kick to a different kick, or add two kicks together and kind of blend them. It's something I've wanted for a very long time. Something I've also considered doing is just trying, is after doing that I can use like drum replacement things and add, because it'll be in MIDI format. I can go, oh, I want right there, and I know I didn't do that in the song, but I want to have it, and I can delete a hi-hat hit and add a little snare roll and little spots. And my electronic kit was under $600, minus the fact that I have a dual kick pedals that were $500. So $500 just for the kicks. And then, you know, $10 for a pair of drumsticks. But did break a pair of drumsticks today that I've been using for a solid 8 years. But it happens. If I would have paid $2,000 for my drum kit, I wouldn't really be interested in getting the MIDI into the system. I just record it in stereo and it'd sound good enough. But I've also really been wanting to get this to work so that I can offer up my drums in a sound quality that's, I don't know, that I like. But the thing is, yeah, you're down. It's all good when you come to Washington. Come hang out. But yeah, the thing is, you know, I've played real kit for a long time and I was never personally very interested in an electronic kit. Nor was I very excited about people that replaced their drum sounds. But over time, it got better and better technology. And at the same time as getting better technology, I just know that I would be a lot happier with the sounds if they were replaced, because the fake emulated drums on my kit just aren't amazing to my ear. That being said, I released Paper Cuts by Nirvana. With me on drums and Matt Dunlap on guitars. We switched. We did last week. He did the drums, or maybe more than that, like a week or so ago. It seems though. He did the drums and I did the guitars to his drums. And then now he did the guitars and I did the drums to his guitars. So now there's two different versions, us flipping on the instruments. Can you imagine that? We open up the set and then we switch halfway through. We used to do that in a band I was in. I was in it for many years called Idiot Arsenal. Tim Coots would play guitar and I would play drums, and then Tim Coots would play the drums and I'd play guitar. It was a lot of fun. It would blow people's minds. I think it's a little more common these days, but still, it's not a mainstay thing that bands do where they switch instruments like that. And when you see it and it's good and it works, yeah, that's what it's all about. When you can't decide who's the better guitarist or who's the better drummer, hey man, we heard this already once, twice. This is Fire with Fire. As you can see, I've already liked this because this was a track that brought me to him. User we're listening today is Stone Cold with a K, X. All one word, Stone Cold X, John Daigle. As you can see, he sings metal. Metal. We've been chatting about getting your drum kit set up, getting the drums into your computer. I've been trying to get my drums into my computer in a more seamless, flawless manner, where each individual instrument is being recorded via MIDI and replaced by virtual software instruments, VSTs. I use Superior Drummer when I program drums. But when I play the drums, most of my recordings have been, some of them have been put through there, but it's very, very little because I can't get the USB to work on that all the time. So what I'll do is I want to get the USB cable, so I got two options. I can either record what I'm playing on a USB stick at whatever tempo and have a click going on there and play to a click, and then bring it into a DAW and replace it with the sounds of the VST instrument. Or I can take my kit and have it plugged into Cakewalk directly and have the driver set up, and then what I play is recorded while I play it and even replaced while I play it. Neither of those I've been able to get to work, so far I've just been, not flawlessly, not like every time. I'll get like one song on this. If I stop playing, then it stops working. I can only go about 10 minutes. Then I got to do another file, and once I do 5 files, then this thing is done, even if one of them was only a mess up for 30 seconds. Once I do 5 files, then it's like I'm done, and then it won't work for like another week or month. I'd like to get it so I can just plug into a laptop and go and just have that be playing right into the DAW. So when I'm done, I can go in there in the DAW and just replace it with one of the instruments they have in the Cakewalk batches, or just replace it however I want. So it's been a little bit of messing around to get it to work right. Sir Haven, what's up? We're listening to John Daigle. This is Blood or Stone. Virtual instruments are just like, you can use them many ways. You can use them with a keyboard, or you can literally do MIDI draw. MIDI draw is where you have let's take your piano, and it's sideways. And then you have numbers on the top. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. And the 1 in the front is the bar number, and the 1, 2, 3, 4 are the divisors by quarter note. So if you're in 4/4, you'll have 4 of them. If you're in 6/8, you'll have 0.6 all the way up to 0.6, and then it will go to the next preceding number. And then you have it like kind of broken up like a chart, and then that's the length. So if that's a quarter note and this length, that's an 8th note, and that's a 16th note. You can draw the notes out, and you can even go into each one of them and change the velocity. And that is how I originally started making music. That's originally how I did it. I would literally just sit there and, as a kid, and I would use free software like something like Cakewalk, and I would just sit there and program chords and parts and listen to them and be like, no, that needs to be longer and this shorter. No, that needs to come in a second later. And if you check out what is my playlist called? MIDI Wizards, I think it's called. I would just sit there and just literally would just sit there and tweak for hours, 5 hours a day, making a song every 3 or 4 days. It was definitely a motivator to get learning my instrument quicker and to challenge myself to play things that I could only make Dry Hill. I changed my location to Dry Hill, Kentucky. That's weird. But let me go here. Collections. What's it called? I'm trying to find the name of the collection of the MIDIs I made when I was 17. I made a few hundred of them between 17 and 19, sitting in my bedroom late evenings. I mean, I've been wanting to get into something kind of similar. The thing is, if it takes you 15 hours to record it that way, it still would take you, if you had a MIDI guitar and you're a guitar player, much less time just to record it, even note by note, and part by part, with a MIDI pickup. Well, let's go down and see what the name of this collection was. It was like, it's down here a bit. In my collections, you can find it. Come on. MIDI files from 1997 to 1999, Part 1. And MIDI files from 1997 to 1999, Part 2. And those are the ones I ran through iGarageBand, Mobile GarageBand. And then there's also MIDI, the Musical Wizard Days, 1 and 2. And those ones, I believe, I ran through the GarageBand, but I didn't try and soup them up at all. I just ran them directly through. So yeah, okay, those are the MIDI, the Musical Wizard Days are the ones ran through GarageBand and then exported as a single file. And then the other one, MIDI files from 97 to 99, Part 1 and Part 2, are the MIDI files imported into BandLab, and then on the computer or whatever, and then modified one at a time and released. And I'd say I have like 85 songs that I have from that period of time saved, even though I made maybe 100 to 200 of them. Let me share those on my page right now. There we go, there's the end of the pre-recorded blog. Aero drums. Yeah, I heard of them, but I just heard they never really took off. Oh, I'm jinxed. I totally am. If anything that can go wrong will go wrong around me. But yeah, her most previous job was actually pretty nice. Laid back hours, nice environment, and COVID crashed the shit out of that. Everybody's afraid to bring people back because of the spread of virus. The whole society's a bunch of pussies right now. Afraid of a fucking cold. I'm sorry. If you haven't learned anything, we never got rid of influenza. We just fucking moved the hell on. If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. Like my difficulties getting disability, I gotta be a persistent motherfucker and attack shit from all three directions for it to ever work out right. And when I see people not attacking things from all three directions, I'm like, fuck, dude, you know me now. Now you know me. Now you're around me. Now you're being... If you're not attacking things from all fucking three directions, then you better fucking stop knowing me. You better get out of my sight, get out of my vision, get out of my purview, get out of my... You can't even breathe the same air as me because that you won't fucking survive if you're not willing to attack shit from all three directions. And that's just what the fuck it is, dude. I got a Roland TD11. I love them when I'm playing to a song. It's not D-U-E diligence, it's D-O diligence. Due diligence. You gotta do diligence or you're not gonna get your due diligence. Jobs are stressful, but they're a necessity. And every time you get a better and better job, do due diligence. That's me, that's my diligence. Do due diligence. Yeah, I told you I heard of aero drums, digital air drums. The sticks that you hold and go. I just saw a lot of reviews that they just weren't so as responsive. I'm put it this way. Today I was drumming to Dream Theater's Change of Season. I was drumming to Animals as Leaders. Suicidal Tendencies. And I was drumming to Heart. The bands I was drumming to are not bands that you're going to be able to get the right feel and response from with air drums. And the thing is, my kit is here to make sure that when I go to play a real kit again, I haven't lost it. I want to work my hands out. I want to keep my grip going. I want to keep my hits going. I should do a live blog where what I do is just really fucking play hard on my kit and have the camera over there and you guys see what I mean. But I break a pair of sticks every couple of months. I just break them. They just break right in half. I'll show you what I mean. Here we go. So these are 7s. Got one that's good. And we got one that's cracked. And as you can see, which one's this one? Is this the cracked one or the not cracked one? I can't even tell. Yeah, right here you got a crack going at the tip. And this must be the really cracked one. It's hard to find the crack on this one. But I'll tell you what. Oh. I took the cracked one and set it into my drum bag. So this is 2 different length sticks. But here, this is what it does. Yeah, like this. You got to crack right down it like this. And it feels like you got 2 sticks in your hands and it feels floppy. A couple more hits like this and the thing's just going to break. So once I start feeling it like that, I'm like, fuck it. These are done. I'm not going to have an annoying session. So I got 1 pair left, two sticks left. And yeah. It's at least I don't break as many sticks playing on these electronic drums as I do on my real kit. Man. Yeah, I break a lot of sticks. It sucks. I'll show you another one. So, here are my Dana Carries. Piece just came right out of them. Hit me right in the face. And then here's the other 7A that's cracked. You can see it's cracked right down here, right down this hole, the way down. Right like that. I guess I could tape them. That's why I don't want to play with them, because what happens when I got no sticks left, I'm going to end up taping those with a couple lines of tape, a couple little streams of duct tape so I can keep drumming. Because not until I got a job again do I feel like it's right to buy drumsticks. And you know what? Right when I broke a pair today, my wife's like, "Don't you got that $100 on Amazon?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got it, but I don't want to spend it until we're free and clear of the emergency. You know, when I get that disability pay, I'll enjoy that $100. Until then, I'm keeping that because we might need some food." That's like my fucking lifeline right now, you know? Heck, I got $100 and something in my wallet, or a little less than $100 in my wallet. We'll need toilet paper soon. Not as soon as you think. There's a whole bunch under the sink, bro. Not ordering toilet paper on Amazon, I'll tell you that much. You can use the $100 for the toilet paper from my brother. What you guys thinking? This is some pretty cool stuff, right? It's not a CFR 38. What it is it's it's disability pay through the company, through the Boeing system. Not state disability, but disability from Boeing for having a medical leave. What I'm trying to do now is I got denied a medical leave, but I'm trying to get on disability leave. It's short-term disability leave. Less than 26 weeks, I believe that is. It's just for the marijuana. The 19 weeks I was in that. It's kind of like they have a system for when you're doing these programs that you could use a short-term disability leave within the company if you do drugs in the workplace program, and as long as you're complying with their drugs in the workplace program as the EAP has set it up with your counselor or whoever, then you qualify. And I guess when I originally applied, I applied for medical. It was all wrong, so then they denied me, and they're like, what you need to do is short-term disability, blah, 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 this way. And so I've been doing it right now, but it's actually an appeal for the medical to be short-term. It's like, what the? It's so complicated. And today I sent in this. Alternative counseling. Client's UA was positive. And it's interesting, awaiting results for 12/22. But then they have this. Somebody else's information right here. Somebody else's information right here. I have my UA from 8/4, reported on 8/8, August 8th, showing me at 7622 nanograms, 7,622 nanograms per milliliter for Delta 9 THC COOH, not prescribed. Then I have me on the 2 months later on pissed on 10/7 and reported on 10/12 that I had 551 nanograms per milliliter. Then I have here 499 nanograms per milliliter on 11/11, and then on 12/4, reported on 12/9, I had 21 nanograms per milliliter. And then they have somebody else's, David Huntington's information, which is prescribed for, he's prescribed for marijuana, and his was at a certain level, and then everything else was negative. I shouldn't... What the hell is that? Random piece of paper in my mouth. I shouldn't have his information here. So, let me share it with all you guys. But then it's a bunch of things, a bunch of sessions. All these pages are my sessions. And they say stuff like, Chris was on time and was dressed appropriate for the telehealth group. Chris was very talkative in group today. He was reported that being off marijuana was a struggle, and he reported that he's been smoking a lot for a while. Chris reported that he is going to make a relapse prevention plan. Flip all this shit over so I can panel this on top of itself. I'll read some of these to you. It's not a state one. I don't know what the short-term disability is in Washington State, but I know what it is at Boeing. Short-term disability is anything under 26 weeks, and anything over 26 weeks is long-term disability, according to the Boeing. But oh, okay, it's a Boeing perk. Yeah, exactly. My wife's saying. Client reported he will continue to be supportive of his children and no longer sees them as problems to run and hide and self-medicate from. Well, that's not what I said. I said that I was not being as present in their lives as I could have been by spending all my time smoking. But okay. Chris participated in the discussion. He has reported that since he's no longer smoking, he can think much clearer. Also reported spending quality time with his family. Chris participated in group today. His client feels like he's like that. People sometimes try to act the way he wants them and able to get along. Client reported he is going jet skiing this weekend. He reported that this weekend is going to be a stress-free weekend. Client has a very good attitude and new outlook on life since he's quit drinking and smoking. Chris reported that he is in the studio where he used to do his drinking and smoking, and he says he doesn't have the cravings and his memory of doing bad things to himself is fading. He's having fun in the group and he has a good presence that the whole group enjoys. Chris reported that his internal triggers are still there when he goes into the studio and remembers smoking and sometimes wonders if he could do it one more time. Client reported he has some external triggers, like when he sees someone else smoking, it brings up old thoughts and cravings. He's reported that he's done a lot of redirection and meditation to free his mind. So this is like coming into September. Chris was on time and dressed appropriate. He kept the mood of the group cheerful and reported talking about forgiveness and brought up some thoughts that made some of the group members uncomfortable. I wonder what that was. Chris reported he will beat the urges and cravings by being active indoors and getting outdoors as much as possible. Chris was helpful and gave some good tips to keep a stress-free environment. Chris reported he never stresses and he positions himself daily to not encounter stress as other people do. He stated, "I am a firm believer that if you don't dwell on the negative, you already have eliminated 70% of your stress." Chris brings a lot to the meetings and is very helpful on all topics. Christopher reported he stayed home and power washed his house today. He stated, "I waited until the sun was bright and began to do things around the house. I believe this helps me a lot with not having cravings and kills the boredom of not being able to go back to work just yet." He appeared to have an understanding about addiction and had and the fallout from using substances for long periods of time. Christopher reports that he's been having a hard time with Boeing not letting him go back to work. Well, with me not getting paid by Boeing for disability is what I was saying. He said he is running out of emergency money. Yes, I am. And needed someone to talk to besides a computer. He was still very upbeat and contributed to the topic of taking your power back. Chris reported that he is doing better without the alcohol or marijuana. He reported that he is barely thinking about it these days. Reported that he is running out of money due to not being able to work until the marijuana is out of his system and not getting disability. He reported that the stress is there, however, he is doing other things like going outside and working so he doesn't stress too much. He reported that he is feeling better and is sleeping pretty good without the marijuana. Chris is improving in his treatment. Chris was on time and was dressed appropriate. He had a lot to say about relapse and is not shy to speak about it, how it is not the easy way to recover. Christopher explained that once you relapse, you have to reclimb the ladder to recover, and it's much harder knowing that you are susceptible to do it again. Christopher has a strong voice in the group, and a lot of group members feed off of his words of wisdom. Nice. Chris reported he is dealing with issues stemming from his job at Boeing, not getting disability, and reported that he is in constant struggle to keep his job and stay in compliance with his recovery. He remains calm about the situation and knows without a doubt it will be resolved in due time. He appeared to be in a good place with his feelings and keep his head up and shoulders on. Not solder, but whatever. Christopher reported he was jet skiing on Spanaway Lake when his jet ski stopped running. He reported that he was in the cold water and it seemed no one heard him until he was blowing his whistle. He felt like it might be an hour before it was about an hour before some guys on a boat came and plucked him out of the cold water. Chris likened the incident to relapse. A lot of people fall to relapse and a lot of people don't realize they are drowning right around them. So yeah, it just keeps going. Just keeps going. Bunch of things like that. Pages and pages of that. And I faxed that over to Boeing today. That's what they asked for, all these reports, to see if they could approve me. Well, they know that I've been going every day, every other 2 times a week. They got a shit ton of reports. Look at how thick that is. It goes, that's 2 times a week for 17 weeks. Yeah, it's my evaluation. I was just reading some of them. Chris reports that he will be active by beating the urges and cravings by being outdoors as much as possible, and he was helpful and gave tips to keep a stress-free environment. Chris reported that he is running out of money, and he reported that his stress is still there, however, doing things outside and working so he doesn't stress too much. He reported that he is feeling better and that he is sleeping pretty good without marijuana. Chris is improving with his treatment. Christopher has a strong voice in the group, and a lot of members feed off of his words of wisdom. I love that. He remains calm about the situation and knows without a doubt it will resolve. Said some of these already. Chris stated that he really wants to go back to work and leave this chapter of his life behind. Chris reported that he has a great and healthy relationship. He reported that he has gotten better now that he is sober and off of everything. He reported that he just wants to live a free life with no strings attached. Chris is active in the treatment program. He's reported that he was going to take his kids on a bike ride. Chris was active in the group and was eager to jump in and help others with their problems. Chris is the type of person to always give a hand to someone in need. In the mid-1990s, it was reported to be a popular street drug. Chris was talking about Jenkum, an inhalant and hallucinogen created from fermented human waste. He reported that he really enjoyed learning about this weird type of drug. He reported that he knows everything about marijuana. However, he stated he had no idea how long it would take to become sober. Chris reported that he makes sure he is not bored anymore. He also reported that he wrote a relapse prevention plan. Chris reported he is making music in his spare time and looking for a job to supplement his income until he can go back to work at Boeing. He reported that he has no cravings or urges and believes he is doing the things to stay on track and have all traces of marijuana out of his system. He reported that he knows he shouldn't blame others, and that is where he will start to clean up his act. Chris reported that he knows why he drank when he did and tried to hide it behind false anger. When I used to drink a lot. Clients had talked about marijuana and its effects on the human body and psyche. The group was very enthusiastic and learned a lot from each other, as well as scientific pamphlets. Everyone was engaged and participated. Good group today. Chris reported that he has had shame and regret and now it's time to get on with the matters and stop feeling sorry for himself and focus on his kids. Chris reported that he has... I already saw that one. Chris reported he will keep his eyes on his children because he and his wife are trying to fight their addictive behaviors. I don't know about my wife, but she seems fine. Chris reported he sees a lot of things different because he has been taught ways to combat triggers and keeps his mind on his goals. This keeps going. This keeps going. Chris reported he has never had such a weird dream and is puzzled as to what it really means. Chris has brought a lot to the group, and the members tend to follow his lead. Chris's dream was the topic of the group, and everyone joined in with their ideas of what dreams mean. And he was thankful for the input, and we adjourned. Chris reported he was thankful to be in treatment at this time. He reported he has gotten back in touch with his family and especially his younger brother. Chris began to get emotional talking about his brother as he misses the camaraderie due to his own cannabis dependencies. He reported he feels the connection and cherishes his new role as dad to his children, which I never really left, but whatever. He reported he can talk to his wife and not feel condemned or less than what he was before he basically lost himself to addiction. Chris stated, "When I was made to realize I was more than half of the problem, I went through a phase where I was very apologetic and ashamed of my own behaviors. I still have a long way to go, but it's nice to know which way to go." Chris reported that the only stress he really has is trying to get the marijuana out of his system so he can provide for his family. He reported that they have pretty much went through their savings and since all this has happened. He reported that he hasn't smoked in months. He reported that this holiday will be a good despite what's going on and no money. Reported he is going to exit once his UAs become clean. He reported he is making his life very stressful. He reported still having success this week and stated he is going to miss group and would like to join a few times in the future. I'm going to miss coming to group. Yep. Yep, that's basically it. There was like, I had to send like 2 a week for 19 weeks over to them. So they got it now. There's nothing else they can get from me. I got nothing else, I swear. We can still smoke a fatty when I'm on vacation. You never know. I could become an engineer there. They don't test engineers. Especially if you come from within the program up to an engineer. You just go to a place of no longer being tested. And then it's up to me. If I thought maybe I would get injured on the job, or I'm going to be doing something crazy, you know, or if they go, hey, can you come do some, can you go back and do some of that other work you used to do? They need your help down there. I can go, shit, I smoked 2 weeks ago. I shouldn't do that. I don't want to make it a habit again, but I definitely want to be able to do it again at some point. And plus, if they deschedule marijuana, it's all good. Then marijuana will be fine at Boeing. Boeing only does things to stay in compliance with the law. I can always have a beer. Hey, I could still grow marijuana, technically. Just have to have someone else trim it, or trim with fucking long-ass gloves on. I don't want to have someone else trim it because I'm like... And I don't want to be like fucking having some other guy doing it like... Dude, you're taking forever. It's like this. Done. Let's get it done, buddy. Man, that's rough, troubled times. Break your back? How'd you break your back, David? Oh, my back's cracking just thinking about it. Yeah, I used to grow a lot of marijuana, I'll tell you that. I used to get 15 to 20 ounces per plant. Do like 5 plants in a room. I could smoke that fast though too, so fuck. I could smoke that fast. You hear what I said? I could smoke 3 pounds in 3 months, motherfuckers. Why is it so smoky in here? Shut the fuck up. Don't judge. Just come sit down and let me roll you a fatty and give you one for the road, motherfucker. If a friend was having a hard time, they'd come by and I'd give them an ounce so they could go sell it and make money. I was that kind of guy. I gave a discount on my product. I could sell it to in the industry for $20 a gram, and I would give it to my friends for like $2 to $3 a gram because I could. Sometimes I'd be sitting there without any for like a week, waiting to harvest and going and buying stuff and going, shit, maybe I shouldn't have given away so much. But next round came and I would be giving it away again. I would just find a little way to balance it out a little bit more. Till a tree fell on my grow room. Fuck. And my truck. Yeah, I grow with a product called BandLab, otherwise known as House and Gardens. The best cocoa perlite grow you'll ever see. I like to go 60% perlite, 40% cocoa. Rinse the shit out of that stuff. No, I don't have a keyboard. I got a keyboard for my computer. QWERTY keyboard. But my keyboard broke about 10 years ago and I haven't got one back. I just use a MIDI pickup and a guitar right here like this for all my Portal People beats and stuff. Slipped on ice at the fuel pump right in front of 2 cops. And you were working for the government. And now you've been retired for 30 years from there. You use bat guano. I would use guano and other things and mix them in very small levels. I would use. I've done both, and I've done both as Vanda Swan grow next to. Trying to remember the name of the other company. I've done all kinds of grows. I've done probiotic grows. Probiotic organic grows. And I can tell you that nothing beats Vanda Swan. They're one of the oldest flower nutrient producers in the world. For over 200 years, they've been producing nutrients for growing flowers. And for over 40 years, they've been producing marijuana grow nutrients. And the interesting thing is, they are probably one of the first marijuana grow nutrient companies to employ biomedical scientists to refine the things they make. They produce some of the greatest nutrients out there. And that's what I use to get some record numbers on the stuff I grew. You know, 30-something% THC, 20% CBDs. It's like 50% drug with only 4% water weight or less. So I would get down to as low as 2% water content. Hell yeah. I did a lot of positive reinforcement with biodiversity in the soil. Different kinds of worms, different kinds of nematodes. That's even essential when you're growing with nutrient-based soilless soil. You gotta have it. I prefer an indoor grow because you can actually isolate down to a 100. I've never seen an outdoor grow as strong as my strongest indoor grows. With my strongest indoor grows, literally the plants are like this. The leaves are like this big. They're bigger than I've ever seen on fucking maple trees. Dark colors. There's nothing better than 3 lights, 1,000 watt metal halide and 2 600 watt HPS lights that move back and forth over a 3-foot space in a 5-foot by 5-foot tent, growing in hydro buckets. Oh man, I've seen that be the best. Hydro, just pure wet buckets, roots the size of spaghetti noodles. You empty out the water, and you only had 3 gallons of water in there, and it was an 18-gallon bucket, so that means you had 15 gallons worth of space filled by spaghetti, thick spaghetti-like roots, like this cable, just roots like almost pure white roots, just a slight tinge of yellow to them. You're carrying down 5 to 6 garbage bags just full, 50-gallon garbage bags just full of roots. You can barely carry them. They feel like fucking lead. 50-gallon garbage bags full of with like 50 pounds or more, like 70 pounds of per plant. Stumps like this. Indoor. Coming right up like this. and then just whoosh. I'm trying to show you, but that's coming from here to here, and then you got taller ceilings than you do here. Man, I had a lot of fun growing. The guy I used to grow with also doesn't grow anymore. The thing is with outdoors is there's pollen, there's dust, and there's bugs that land and they get in the actual product. And if you got a really, really tight system, none of that is in your indoor grow, and your shit is super clean. When you have a catastrophic problem in an indoor grow, you don't have quite as much of that UV light that is used to kind of keep the plant hardy. But I used to have a UV light wand that I would, in the morning, I would wave it over all the plants for a few minutes. I remember one time it wasn't working, and I was staring at the little thing. I was like, what is up with this? And I thought it wasn't working. I guess it was working, it was just not showing the light like it usually did. And the next day I woke up with my eyes were red. All the whites in my eyes were just red. I fucking sunburned the shit out of my eyes, and for like 3 days I was like barely able to see. But I never had such good vision since. Eagle eyes ever since. It killed all the bad cells. Just killed all the bad cells and gave me a nice good clarity. I'm sure I'll be paying for it when I'm 60-something. Why you got cataracts? Probably looking at that UV bulb for that 10 minutes I was looking at the fucking filament. Two-inch 36-volt fluorescent bulb, and sitting there looking at the filament. What's up with this? Why isn't it going on? Oh, there it goes. It's flickering. Man, next day I'm waking up. My eyes are all crusted. And pulling them open. I can't see shit. Go look in the mirror. Oh, what the fuck's going on? What the fuck's up with my eyes? Oh my god. My girlfriend at the time was like, you got pink eye. I'm like, that's not pink eye. I was looking at the UV bulb yesterday at night. Oh, fuck. I got no problem staring at the sun. Sun doesn't do that to you. Those fucking UV bulbs will do that to you. Man, I still remember that like it was yesterday. That sucked. That was brutal. Stories though. Growing marijuana. I had a lot of fun growing marijuana because I had a friend who got me into it. And then I had another friend who he was just a really good grower. He was out of California originally, and he had a lot of contacts. And I remember one time I went and I trimmed a bunch of stuff for him when his friend got caught and had to go to jail for a few months. And we went to his house before it possibly got raided, or some other fucking guys took it all. And we went and we took all the stuff and we cut it down. And it was like 10 pounds of stuff all throughout this house. Like a basement and two bedrooms, and then one of the bedrooms he slept in. And it was down in Seattle, and if he didn't show up for a few days, someone was going to steal that shit. Yeah, man, I'm sorry I don't smoke anymore. It'd be nice to smoke on the show, I'll tell you that. I used to love smoking on the show. It was good times. Good times. Artist we're listening to is John Daigle. I don't know how many songs we reheard, but hell yeah. Never been there in that area of Cali. Well, maybe when I was a little kid, but... Man, tell you what, that was a lot of fun though, growing. It was very competitive. We both used House and Gardens, and we both used Cocoa and Perlite, and we both did cloning the same way. Oh, the robot's right here. It's hanging above the... You can't see it. It's right here. You can only see... Yeah, you can't quite see it. It's right above the camera. Right there. Right up there. Right up there is a robot. There it is. Right there. Hi there, robot. And that was just a pre-recorded video. Never use it in a live video. My wife played the robot. That was IdiOtBlog 100. Maybe IdiOtBlog 500 will have him come back. No, broke, Tobias, Pike. Tobias Pike? Is that the guy from Star Trek? Chris Pike? Who is that guy? Oh, my knees are killing me. Oh. I'm busting out a book. Into the blog, book time. Yet why does this place over there attract my sight? Why is that bottle as a magnet to my eyes? Why does the world seem suddenly so bright, as when in nightly woods no one sees the moon arise? I welcome you, incomparable potion, which from your place I fetch now with devotion. In you I honor human wit and art, you essence from all slumber-bringing flowers. You extract of all subtly fatal powers. Bear to your master your enticing heart. I look upon you, soothed are all my pains. I seize you now, and all my striving wanes. The spirit's tidal wave now ebbs away. Slowly I float into the open sea. The waves beneath me now seem gay and free. To other shores beckons another day. A fiery chariot floats on airy pinions, cleaving the ether, tarry and descend. Tarry and descend. Uncharted orbits call me, new dominions of sheer creation, active without end. This higher life joys that no mortal one. You merit this, but now a worm despairing. Upon the mild light of the earthly sun, turn bold your back, and with undaunted daring, tear open the eternal portals, past which all creatures slink in silent dread. The time has come to prove by deeds that mortals have as much dignity as any god, and not to tremble at that murky cave, where fantasies condemn itself to dwell in agony. The passage brave, whose narrow mouth is lit by all the flames of hell, and take this step with cheerful resolution, though it involve the risk of utter dissolution. Now you come down to me, pure crystal vase, emerge again out your ancient case. of which for many years I did not think. You glistened at my father's joyous feasts and cheered the solemn-looking guests when you were passed around for all to drink. The many pictures glistening in the light, the drinker's duty rhyming to explain them, to scan your depths in one draught to drain them. Bring back to mind many a youthful night. There is no friend now to fulfill this duty, nor shall I exercise my wit upon your beauty. Here is a juice that fast makes drunk and mute. With all its brown flood it fills this crystal bowl. I brewed it and shall drink it whole, and offer this last drink with all my soul. Unto the morning a festive high salute. And you put the bowl to your lips. The book's name is Goethe's Faust. Brooke Tobias Pike. She's on my Facebook friends list. We'll see about that. I'll ask you to send me the link. Send me the link in Messenger, and let me go look. Choir of angels sing. Christ is arisen. Hail the meek-spirited, whom the ill-merited creeping inherited, faults held in prison. Faust. What deeply humming strokes, what brilliant tone draws from my lips the crystal bowl with power. Has the time come, deep bells, when you make known the Easter holiday's first holy hour? Is this already choirs the sweet consoling hymn that was first sung around his tomb by cherubim, confirming the new covenant? The choir of women. With myrrh, when bereaved, we had adorned him. We that believed, laid down and mourned him. Linen we twined round the adored. Returning we cannot find Christ our Lord. The choir of angels. Christ is arisen. Blessed be the glorious one who is victorious over laborious trials has risen. And Faust. Why would you, heaven's tones, compel me gently to rise from my dust? Resound where tender-hearted people dwell. Although I hear the message, I lack all faith or trust, and faith's favorite child is miracle. For those far spheres I should not dare to strive, from which these tidings come to me, and yet these chords, which I have known since infancy, call me now, too, back to life. Once heaven's love rushed at me as a kiss, in the grave silence of the Sabbath day. The rich tones of the bells, it seems, had much to say, and every prayer brought impassioned bliss, and unbelievable sweet yearning drove me to roam through wood and lea, crying as my eyes were burning. I felt a new world grow in me. This song proclaimed the spring's feast free, delight appealing. To the gay games of youth they plead. Now memory entices me with childlike feeling, back from the last, most solemn deed. Sound on, O hymns of heaven, sweet child, sweet and mild. My tears are flowing. Earth, take back your child. Choir of disciples. Has the exalted one burst from his prison? The living exalted one, gloriously risen, is in his joyous birth, zest for creation near. Oh, on the breast of earth, here are to suffer. We are to suffer here. He left his own, pining in sadness. Alas, we bemoan, Master, your gladness. Choirs of angels says, Christ is arisen out of corruption's womb. Leave behind prison, fetters and gloom. Those who proclaim him lovingly bleed for him, brotherly feed for him, travel and plead for him, and to bliss lead for him. For your master is near, for you he is here. This is about a guy that tries to sell his soul to the devil. Or does, perhaps. I don't want to ruin it for you. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool and inspiring. Yeah, that first one had a lot of stoner references in it, didn't it? It was kind of poetic to what we've been talking about, that first section of reading. John Dangle. John Dangles just keeps bringing the metal. It's quite entertaining to have in the background here. Fuck yeah, bro. I don't got much to say about what you're doing because it just sounds great, man. I noticed you used some similar lyrics in a couple different spots to some other songs. I do the same damn thing. Yeah, the 737 flew again this week. It flew passengers in a flight from Miami to New York, I believe. Flies again. My plane flies again. 737. What's up? Over 2 million flights. How many flights? I don't know. Around. I know it's over 2 million. Let me look it up. $7,286 aircraft have been delivered, and the 737 still has 2,760 orders that have not been delivered. More than that. I think it's like 4,000 orders now. That's some old info. Yeah, total is 15,156 737s ever made. I know the flights are over 2 million flights. It might be like, I don't know. Since 1967, right? But there's been three invariable versions, and then many variable versions of those. So there's the 737, the original 737. Then there's the 737 Next Generation. And then there's the 737 MAX. I've been in the cockpit. I've run every test that they do before sending out the 737s. I've done every test to test the onboard flight controls and all kinds of stuff, except I haven't run the engines. Everything but running the engines, which they normally don't do except for one time, and it's a very small group of people that does that. But I've done all the headlight tests, all the light tests, all the pump tests, all the hydraulic tests, test all the different flaps and shit. It's been really cool. Fucking vaccine. let me explain the vaccine in a way that I got it explained to me really good. Everyone says I'm going to drop my paranoia about it being a genetic modifier, even though it is, and there is reasons to worry. I want to talk about it for a second. DNA, that's that stuff inside of the mitochondria. That's like the blueprints for who you are, right? That's what makes you look like this, and maybe makes me bald and all that shit, right? That's inside the mitochondria. It's called DNA. Then RNA is kind of like a section of that is used inside the cell. It's your RNA is something that every cell has. It's like part of your human code. Then your mRNA are sections of the RNA that are used to create different proteins. What this drug does, what this vaccine does, is it tells your body, let's say it's a blueprint, let's say DNA is a blueprint to the house, and then RNA is like a cabinet that has to be built in a small space of your house. The RNA is builds that cabinet to a plan. But in order for that cabinet to be built, or these parts inside your body to be designed, these proteins and these things, the collagen or whatever, it has to be designed by messenger RNA, mRNA. And that mRNA is like the jig the guy uses to build the cabinet. When he's done building the cabinet, that mRNA has nothing to do in another person's body. It wouldn't work. You can't use it. And it's not going to be used to build the door. It's not going to be used to build a doorknob. So what happens is the virus has stuff in it that's not of your body. So the RNA has things it makes, fighter cells, T cells, white blood cells, stuff like this, that goes around, and when it recognizes you have a foreign virus, it might be way replicated inside of you by the time it recognizes it, and then it tries like crazy to get all of it, and to learn how to make an antibody, and to get rid of the virus. Once it does that, anytime it recognizes you having hair, which is not normal for you, or recognizes a doorknob that doesn't belong in this house, or a cabinet being made that doesn't belong in this house, it gets rid of it. And that's your immune system. That's a function of your immune system. But what this vaccine does is it injects you with a part of the code from the virus. What it does is it injects you with a part of the code of how to make the stuff on the outside of the virus that latches on and allows it to replicate inside of a cell. So this vaccine gives you just the code for that, and it gives it to you so that it will make those little things that are on the outside of the virus like appear on random white cells and random other donor cells in your body. So you take the vaccine, and then all of a sudden these coronas that are on the outside of the cell, this is like a visually based name. It's a coronavirus because it has these shapes to it, and when you see under a microscope, these coronas are now forming on random cells. And not the whole disease, and not the virus, not the cells, not the viral cells, but just the corona from the cells are broken out, and then this CRISPR technology makes those coronas grow on random cells in your body. Then those coronas grow, and your body goes, oh look, there's coronas there. Get rid of them. And then they learn the antibodies for getting rid of something that has coronas on it. And they learn the antibodies, and then, now when you get coronavirus, it goes, oh look, right away. It doesn't even matter, just one of them, it recognizes it instantly as something wrong. Look, there's something with those coronas that's not supposed to be in our body. And it kills the stuff with the coronas. We don't naturally have cells in us with coronas. They inject you with something that makes the natural cells in your body pop up coronas. Your body goes, those aren't right, that's got coronas. And they give you have enough of them replicate in your body, and then boom. I'm wondering, will these coronas ever stop appearing in your body? And will this make another disease be able to simply hide amongst the coronas? Can you have cytostorms? from this? What's the long-term effects? The wing is not different on the new ones. The wing is not different. The wing is the same as the NG. The only difference is that the motor, instead of being down below the wing, is slightly up right at the wing. Because the motor is the engine, because the jet engine is so much, so the NG has an engine like this. I'm sorry, no. The original 737 has an engine like this. Then the 737 NG has a bigger engine, so they flatten the cowling down on the bottom. And that compensates. Well, this one has an even bigger engine, so they bring it up. So the engine's like almost barely visible above the wing. And that changes the balance. And it's heavy. And that made, they said, when we change the balance, let's add the system that's in the Pegasus to control. The Pegasus is the military version, so they added that system. The problem is, Boeing said, yeah, you should train every pilot all the way up to the very, very end hilt of all training. But if you decline, we're not going to deny them as 737 pilots. They're going to, if they flew NGs, we're going to allow them to fly these. Then they didn't know that the steps and procedures to correct this would be better evaluated from a instruction manual, and instead they went on their instinct of what they would do with the NGs, and that created a catastrophic crash. 2 of them, killing 300 and something people. So that was the problem. That was not cool. And the other way we could have avoided the problem ever manifesting would be, instead of 1 accelerometer, 2 accelerometers. Because if one was iced over or having a problem, the second one could kick in. And it could even have been a glass or digital accelerometer using GPS that kicked on. So they've come up with a few different designs changes to prevent this, and they've forced every single pilot that's going to fly these to take the full training, all $3,000 of the training, and not countries like Laos or Singapore can't just skip out and go, we're just going to train some of these guys at $1,000 each. They got to all be fully trained and have a certain number of hours in simulation having this problem happen and know how to avoid it and correctly overcome it. So those are the main things we did. FAA also asked for a wire to be separated from one bundle to another. That's the job I was doing. Oh, you think so? In the lungs, the ATP, or whatever it is, the ACR, or whatever it is, that receptor, that might be true. That might be true. But, yeah, oddly, that is what happened with those planes. Hey, one more track here? Yeah. So that is what happened with the planes. That's how those crashes happened. Combination of, there could have been 2 accelerometers. That would have slowed down production a lot, though. It's a very expensive and slowly produced part. That would have been like the bottleneck in the production rate. And, you know, they were producing like 56 planes a month at the factory at the time when these crashes happened. And they were trying to increase up to 106 planes per month. So we'll see if we can do that later. Maybe we won't. It was going to be amazing what was going to happen. We were going to become a damn powerhouse for the American economy. Now it's given China a whole year and a half, almost 2 years now with this COVID, to find a way to break into the market in this range of aircraft size. Fucking hate China. Hopefully this virus was enough of a scare that people shouldn't trust anything from China. That's just my opinion on it. But yeah, we'll be back building planes soon, I'm sure of it. God willing. But yeah, the FAA also called out a wire to be separated. That wire and all those millions of flights have never caused any kind of interaction that has caused any sort of danger or need for rework. So it's kind of a superfluous change, but I'm going to do it nonetheless and get those babies back in flight. So I think in the next month or two here, all those stored planes will be done being fixed, and maybe another month after that or something. Around March. Probably be all done by then. But who knows, maybe I'll get to go back into the factory, maybe I'll get to go back to the Seattle Delivery Center, and we'll see how it all works out. Well, you guys, that was a long vlog. I had a lot of fun. Didn't expect to be this excited today doing the vlog. Yeah, but you know, maybe if you do get sick, 50 years of Marlboro Reds will make your intubation when you do get sick straight up destroy your lungs with the pressure. I've heard that most of the deaths have come from the process of intubation on older folks. It's just too much, and they were intubating everybody when really they should have been giving them steroids. And the reason they began the intubation process was out of fear for how it was spreading. And they thought if we got them on intubators, they won't spread. So we'll see when they make the super COVID-21. China has nothing but bad intentions towards the U.S. Worst nation on the planet. I'm not saying nuke them, but fuck them. Right now they're going to war against India on their borders, and they're going to war in the water against they're fishing like crazy in illegal waters to try and compensate for their food losses from floods all around the Galapagos, and they're also going to war against Australia right now. So the pee at the head shop. Yeah, but for the next 3 years, I'm going to be tested at random during my work shift. Just pulled right into the nurse's office. They got nurses on location. I'm going to be pulled right into the nurse's office and have to piss. It could be 2 times in 1 week. It could just like crazy. I'm going to be pulled in. I'm not going to have enough time to get a fucking fake thing going. It's a 15-minute walk just to get to my car. Once they grab me, I got to go do the piss test. So for at least 3 years, I won't be able to do that. I mean, from then on, if I make a mistake, if I get injured or something, they'll test me. If I piss positive for one time, I'm fired and I can never work at Boeing again. So my plan is to work hard, stay sober for a good chunk of years, and work real hard. And while I'm working real hard and making good money, use my spare time to take my 2-year education to a 4-year education and move into the engineering department, where I got air conditioning and my own desk, and I can smoke all I want at night, and no one has to know because there's no reason to test me. And as long as I'm doing my work fine, I can smoke at night or whatever. I can smoke on the weekends and that kind of shit. That's my long-term plan. I hope that they just descheduleize the drug. It should not be scheduled as a dangerous drug. It's only dangerous if you're brand new to it. If you're brand new to it, don't go working on planes. And 3 years ain't nothing. I spent from 0 to 22 not smoking weed, and I was fine. John Dangle. Fuck, bro. I spent a lot of time playing hard. I had years and years off for the last 10 years. Not worried about my playtime. I'll always get it in. I got my jet ski. I got Chelan Vacation House to go to. Got good stuff. I just don't want to miss out on times with my brother and his family and my eat mushrooms. You don't want to know what happens when I eat mushrooms. I start crying jewels and pissing in my shoe. All my experiences with mushrooms have been fucked up. Tell you that. Pissing in my shoes, puking in my shoes, putting my foot back in and squashing out. Fuck, where are my yellow shoes? Because I still own those shoes. The ones I vomited in and then put my shoe right back in. We're talking about magic mushrooms here. Psilocybin. Taking a walk on psilocybins. Get lost for the whole night long. Alright, bros, that is it. I'm tired of sitting on this hard-ass stool. It is 12:41 in the night where I'm at. Peace out, guys. Catch you on the flip side. Timothy Lee Nixon. Oh, I just saw that you were on here. Fuck, bro. Thanks for supporting my sobriety, bro. Tim, I gotta get a blog with you going on here. I gotta get a blog going with you on here where we have an interview. I'll send you a message about it. I want to do it with you first if I can get it figured out. I've been looking at ways to do it. We'll see if it's possible. But like I said, everybody, I'm going to be catching y'all on the flip side. It is 12:42 out here. Later, my brothers.